B-boy. From the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide. We supposed to be blessed, still a B-boy.
This week, we're heading to Vallejo to talk about one of the Bay Area's most unique and creative MCs. Frontman of the group The Click, containing all family members of his, 40 Water not only gave us countless songs and albums, but countless new slang words as well. Sick-Witted Records' own top 10 E-40 songs. Joining me, Brad is back in the house. Of course, Raven's here. I'm back again. Diz Mega's in the house. So, as always, I will start this thing off, and I'm going to take us to the year 2003, and the album was called Breaking News. And I'm going with the title track, Breaking News. This starts off the album, and I think it is the highlight. Not that the rest of the album is bad, but this was the highlight. And it's got like a reggae hook with a beat from Rick Rock, but it just works so perfectly. I love that hook, and I'm usually not big reggae hook type of person, but it works. And 40 Fonzarelli doing what he does. Just a song that makes your head nod. And I wish the rest of the album was this good, but I love this for it. Kept sneaking on, kept sneaking on. So, breaking news. This will be the one and only time you hear about that album from me. Brad, what's your number 10?
Well, so I got to say, this is probably the artist I'm least familiar with, but wanted to get more familiar with. So that's why I took the task. I do have a couple albums. I have this one, Element of Surprise, I think from 1998. And the single Hope I Don't Go Back is my number 10. He has so much music, and actually a lot of it is really, really, really good. So I had a really, really hard time picking songs. But I did enjoy getting to know some albums a little bit better and picking a top 10 as best as I can. So hopefully people on the internet don't hate me if I didn't pick your favorite songs, because I went into this very blind. But Hope I Don't Go Back kind of stuck out for me from that Element of Surprise album.
That was a double album, that Element of Surprise. And there's some really, really good tracks. I'll bring it up again later. Raven, what's your number 10?
He has a multitude of double albums, by the way. Like I noticed that every fucking album had two discs once you hit like 2006.
All right.
Um, I actually went to 2006 as my Get a Report card, and I'm pretty sure it was a single with the song White Girl with Jewel Santana and UGK. It's just a fun track. It's got a dope early 2000s vibe. It's got the fun chorus. Jewel Santana was pretty hot at the time. And yeah, that was kind of a surprise to me. I actually really liked my Get a Report card. I don't remember really fucking with it when it came out, but it surprised me on this run.
But I know I've said it before. Every time I hear UGK on a song, I'm like, damn, UGK
They're
is really
dope. I just
dope.
always forget how dope they
Yeah, I always
are.
forget how amazing they are, and they fit in with anybody. I mean, they did songs with
Every
everybody,
feature.
and it's always great. All right, Diz, what's your number 10?
All right, my number 10 off of Breaking News. I got to go with Gasoline featuring Tupac, Rick Rock on the beat. And Rick Rock is all over a lot of E-40 stuff, and he's fucking badass. I love him on the new Snoop stuff, but all of his backlog stuff is great. This is just an upbeat track. E-40 just kills it. It was my one of my favorite tracks on here, if not probably my favorite track on the record.
Okay, number 9. I'm going to the year 1993. It was an EP called The Mailman, and this EP has a soft spot in my heart. It's the first tape I bought from E-40, and I know I played it a lot. And I'm going with the song Practice Looking Hard. I just always love this song. It's a beat that's laid back and cool and great subject matter, dudes trying to be hard, looking in the mirror, trying to act, to look hard. And a classic video has Tupac, Spice One, Boots Riley from The Coup in it. Of course, the clicks in it as well. I might have missed some. But I noticed that throughout his videos, especially the 90s, early 2000s, it's just Cameo City. I'm like, oh shit, there's that guy. Oh shit. It was almost like a Where's Waldo it became for me. But anyways, Practice Looking Hard. Always like that one. Has some cool pimp shit. So that was my number 9. Brad, you are up.
All right. I'm going to My Ghetto Report Card, and the first song off of it, Yay Area. I just really was catchy and stuck out to me, and I thought it was a really dope song. And I think it's sampled like a Diggable Planet song.
That's a great pick, and it is a Digable Planets sample. I love that track. It's one of my honorable mentions.
No, my Get a Report Card was better than I remembered it too. It's tough because once you get into the 2000s, so many of these albums
Sound the
merged
same.
together in my mind too. As well, like, was that on Grit and Grind or, Breaking News? Or it all is the same in my head a lot of the time. Number nine for you, Raven.
Yeah, so I went to 1999's Charlie Hustle. And this actually really surprised me that I put this on here. It's Look at Me with the Hot Boys. This was kind of peak Cash Money, peak Hot Boys. And it seems like a weird fit, but I really like that track.
Did Hot Boys ever have a peak?
Oh, come on, late 90s, they were kind of everywhere. I'm not saying that I
They were
supported them the
popular,
most.
yes.
I was a
Yes.
big No Limit guy, so I didn't support them as much, but they kind of started to take over that Southern rap scene for a little while, and it was right around 98 through 2000.
Well, another thing I noticed, E-40 features a lot of Southern artists, especially once you got later on. I noticed a lot of those albums are just filled with Southern
Yeah.
uh, artists. Number nine for you, Diz.
All right, number nine off of the Mailman is Captain Save-A-Ho. Of course, he's got the click on there, but Be Legit is on here. I love me some Be Legit. So no surprise, I'll have a couple more tracks. Spoiler alert there. But I like this track. I like the hook. It's pretty cool, you know. It's pretty over the top, and we get this appearance from Captain Savum, who I first heard on TWDY. So that kind of blew my mind. I was like, damn, he's been around. He's been around for a minute. It's a cool track, you know, nothing spectacular about the lyrics or the content, but it's just that dope type of shit from E-40 in the Bay and just talking about these hoes, as they say, you know, it's pretty cool.
I love that Millman's already getting love. Okay, I'll slide in at number eight, keep the ball rolling. 1996 Hall of Game. I always remember this as being his biggest album. Like I think this maybe sold the most, but I don't know if that's in my head or if it's real. I didn't look up numbers. But I'm going with the single Rapper's Ball featuring Too Short. I know it's a big single. It might be one of his biggest, but I still love it. Too Short, Casey from Casey and JoJo on the hook. Super dope beat by Ant Banks, who I always love giving props to. And, both 40 and Too Short are above their average on the mic. Another memorable video with a bunch of cameos. Ice-T's in this horrible lime green suit, which it's bad. But Ice-T and Tupac are playing pool and Mac 10's chilling while watching them play pool. And there's like 200 fine girls in bikinis. It's like, I want to go to the rappers ball. That seems like the shit. So Rapper's Ball, just a great song. So that was my number eight. Number eight for you, Brad.
All right, so I know this is probably sacrilegious, but I'd never heard the Click album. I didn't even know until you posted it the other day that he was in that group, and I was like, oh, I gotta check this out since I'm doing the podcast. And it's a little basic, but it's a pretty good album. The song off of it that I liked the best was Mr. Flamboyant. So I chose that as my number eight.
You really did go in blind.
Yes, I
I mean,
did.
the Click saw his brother, sister, and cousin. It's the whole family thing. Okay, number eight for you, Raven.
Number eight. So my favorite E-40 album, I jump back and forth. That's never changed. It's either going to be Mailman or yeah, probably in a major way. That's my favorite era of 40. And I went with Practice Looking Hard from the Mailman.
Yeah.
Man, I love that EP. I think the first tape I ever bought from 40, but my brother already had Federal, so I'd already heard a few songs from that. But yeah, I remember, I don't know how many times that first weekend that I had this tape, I think we played it 50 times, just back to front, like such a hard ass EP.
And Federal slipped by me, I believe. I think this was the first time I heard him. But even that one year, if you listen to Federal, then listen to Mailman, how more advanced,
That
like
jump. Yep.
super jump, how you can see how that happened in that little span of time. Great song. Number 8 for you, Diz.
All right, so number 8 for me, there's this track off of the album with Be Legit that he did. Either way, the song is called Meet the Dealers, featuring a guy named Stressmatic. I like the Be Legit and E-40 duo tracks probably more. They're more of my favorite tracks here. And this one, the album's called Connected and Respected. And I've been bumping that record consistently over the last couple of years. And I know that it to me it's like a slower pace record than you might be used to hearing E-40 on. But this track right here is just kind of has like this eerie beat, and him and Be Legit are just like throwing out rhymes back and forth. Nothing like too crazy, but I dig the track a lot, man. Just some street ghetto shit here, and I'm here for it. So that's my pick.
Actually, Be Legit's a lot like UGK in the fact that when I hear him, I'm like, Be Legit's really dope. Just
Oh
that
yeah.
voice, his delivery and voice is great. All right, we're already to number 7, and you brought it up before, so I'll slide right into 1993's The Mailman, Captain Save-A-Ho. This is the first song I remember hearing from 40, and I think I heard that, then bought this cassette EP. I could be wrong though. It was so different, but in a good way, and features the click, laid back beat by Studio Tone. Those early Sick With It days, I just love the rawness and just the new vibe it brought, that Bay Area vibe. But it wasn't too short, which we heard before. It was its own thing. But don't save them greedy hoes. Another classic 40 water track. A man who's got 1,500 nicknames. See how many I can sneak in here. But I wanna be saved. I had to do that. Number 7 for you, Brad.
All right, so probably the time period that I listened to the most E-40 was like 2013, 2014. So those are going to be like most of my choices. And again, this is, he's got so many songs, but I was like, I got to be real. Like, this is the song that I like, and it's kind of a cheat, but it was a really big single with Big Sean from Detroit. I Don't Fuck With You from his 2014 album.
All right, Raven, number 7.
Number 7. So it's already been mentioned twice. I'm gonna go back to the Mailman for Captain Save a Ho. It's just that classic Bay Area beat. It's West Coast as fuck, and E-40 has a great flow in this song. He just flows so good to that beat. It's yeah, it was always a standout. But like I said, that whole fucking EP is probably a standout.
Number 7 for you, Diz.
All right, number 7, I'm going to Loyalty and Betrayal, picking out Sinister Mob featuring Nate Dogg. I love this track, man. Nate Dogg actually does a lot of rapping on here. He's got the quicker flow on here along with his hook. It's a treat. And the thing that I notice about a lot of the features that E-40 has that I feel like they're in the studio with him because he's kind of like talking about them and putting them in his rhymes where a lot of people just kind of send in a tape or
Right.
something. But I don't sense that with E-40 a lot. Like I can tell that he's pretty chill and cool with his features. Nate Dogg, rest in peace. One of my favorite tracks with them on here. Sinister Mob, check it out. Don Juan on the beat. Good shit.
Loyalty and Betrayal was a really good album. Re-listening to it,
Yeah.
that stood out to me as, one of the better albums for sure. Number 6 from 1998's Element of Surprise. My last pick was Captain Save-A-Ho, so my number 6 is Lieutenant Roast a Botch. Features Silky Fine, who is in the Ruthless camp. She's Sherry Stack of Grip, and they're just telling this great storytelling, both of them. Another Studio Tone beat, 40, as Lieutenant Rosabach, and Captain Save-A-Ho is his long distance cousin from Boise, Idaho, and just this story they tell is just so great. I love the beat. I love the whole thing. This was from that double album. It's a pretty damn good double album, which is hard to pull off. Some fillers, but Lieutenant Rosabach always makes me smile. So had to make it. Number 6, Element of Surprise. Brad, you are up at 6.
All right. So it is true. The first time I ever even learned of E-40 was because of listening to Tupac. And so, yes, of course, I picked the songs that he did with Tupac. Dusted and Disgusted off in a major way. Yeah, I love Tupac. I think E-40 and Tupac together are awesome. And so we'll we'll see. You are correct in a major way. We will see that theme.
The first honorable mention, it hurt me not to put Dusted and Disgusted. That's such a hard song. Spice One's on there. Is Mac Mall on that one too? They all just bring it. Raven, number 6.
I went to 98th Element of Surprise. I went with My Hoodlums and My Thugs with Dub C and Mac 10. It's got a weird ass vibe to that beat, but I really like it. And I love the features. I love West Side Connection, so I had to go with that track.
Another honorable mention, knocked off. Anytime you get Dub C on a track, I'm a fan. He's rarely let me down.
Especially if Ten's on there too. They
Right.
always brought that shit out each other.
Yep. Honorable mention. All right, 6 for you, Diz.
Right, gotta go back to 2002 Grit and Grind Automatic featuring Fabulous and Cocaine is on this too. I love the beat, man. Dun, 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 dun. And I love them all together, man. They really kill it. Usually whatever Cocaine's on, I'm all here for it, man. I love Cocaine. Hearing him on this E-40 track on a dope beat is just one of those that you gotta put on your playlist and you know keep it in rotation. Automatic.
It is a really dope beat, and unfortunately, I when I hear it, I always think I think it's on that first Psychopathic Riders album. They jack that beat. So when I hear it, I think of that, and then I get mad at myself. Like, what's wrong with you? This is a E40 beat. But my
You know,
mind
I
always
knew I
goes to the
heard it
Riders.
somewhere.
Yeah, that's
I know
from
I heard that
this.
beat
Yeah,
somewhere, and I was like, where is who? But I was like, whatever.
yeah.
I
I
got too
think it's
many
that.
songs in my head
Yeah,
sometimes. I
yeah.
just can't keep track.
It's that
Psychopathic Riders, okay.
Psychopathic Riders. I think it's the Dumpin' album, that first one. All right, we're all ready to five. We're flying through E40, kind of like its flow fast. And I'm going for the first time to 2000's Loyalty and Betrayal. And I'm going with the song To Whom This May Concern. I have these every other list. One of these songs that I love, and I never can put into words exactly why. It's a dope beat by Black Tovin, but that's not why. 40 is fine on the mic, but that's not why. Probably the subject matter more than anything, just about the rap industry and the shadiness of it. And I don't know, it just hits me when I hear it. Because he's right, they'll have someone new next year, and it's very heartless game, the rap game. Plus, Brad, he shouts out Murder Dog on this song as well.
Shit.
So, yeah, he says, I don't fuck with Double XL, I fuck with Murder Dog. So, to whom this may concern, I just like it. And I can't really tell you why. Number 5 for you, Brad.
All right. Look at me with the Hot Boys.
Hell yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a really I'm not even like a huge fan of the Hot Boys. I'm a huge fan of like Lil Wayne later on, but that the beat is really cool. It's really catchy. I think it's an awesome song, and he does a really good verse with them. So yeah, it's a great song. Glad someone else chose it. I was kind of worried, but I was like, yeah, I'll troll Chris with it anyways. So
What's in the middle of your list, Raven? Number 5.
Middle of my list. I'm gonna go back to my ghetto report card from 2006. Because speaking of West Side Connection, I went with Behind Gates with Ice Cube, which I know was a video and it's very fucking early 2000s video and sound. But Ice Cube's a good bonus and they sound good together. And I like that song.
Number 5 for you, Diz.
Going back to Element of Surprise, Hope I Don't Go Back. I know somebody else mentioned that as well. One of the cool things that I found off of, because E-40 has so many albums, there's no way I've heard them all, but it's so cool to dig in and you discover another Ant Banks track. Like, I'm like, damn, Ant Banks did that? Because I love Ant Banks, man. He's got a special place in my heart, you know? Back in the day, the Too Short, the Ant Banks solos, love that guy since. So this beat is crazy because it doesn't sound like a typical Ant Banks beat, but when you kind of listen closer, you can hear his fingerprints, on it. And it's like, damn, such a dope track. So I know somebody already mentioned it, but I just love it. I had to give Ant Banks a little bit of props there. Got to go with that one. Oh, and the subject matter. I love E-40 writing about his past because it's so like he just grew up grimy and he has like no, he doesn't even hide it. He just rhymes it. It's dope.
One of my favorite producers of all time, and he's great on the mic too. He's one of the top dual threats, in my opinion. I'll put him up there with dual threats like Eric Sermon, DJ Quick, Dre. I think he's great on both sides of the board. So, all right, number four. For the first time, I'm going to my favorite E-40 album, 1995's In a Major Way. And I'm going with the song One Love. I love my on the reel type songs, and this is a great one. Another studio tone beat. I must really love those. Damn, he's great. The hook by Leviti, who was part of the Sick With It camp at the time, works perfectly. And it's about your people who are stuck in jail. Don't forget about them. And definitely, this video was on one of my infamous UMTV Raps VHS tapes I had back in his day. In a major way, minus and plus a year. You throw Hall game in there. To me, is 40 in his prime. In my opinion, that's when I really, really was into E-40, and I just love these, real songs that talk about real things. So, One Love, Brad, number four.
I am gonna take a walk down the hall of game. So I do have this album. Of course, Million Dollar Spot with Tupac. My favorite era of Tupac, 96 era, Death Row era, just everything he says is fucking dope. The song is awesome, super catchy. Right, this is right when I started to find out about E-40 because he was on the All Eyes on Me album. I'd never heard anything when I heard his rap on that. Well, I'll talk about it later, but I mean, I just never heard anything like that. I was like, well, this is interesting. But yeah, this song, this and Hall of Game is a great album.
Definitely a unique flow. If you don't mistake E-40 for another rapper, that's definitely. And what I love about music, and I say it all the time on here, is like Death Row era is your favorite Tupac era. That is by far my least favorite. I thought he dipped as a writer. I thought it sounded all too same. I love the Tupacalypse and Strictly era. Oh, Me Against the World was really good too.
I mean, that's great.
But in real time, I heard All Eyes on Me and was kind of disappointed. I'm like, eh. I really was in real time. It's grown on me more, I think, as time goes on. But at the time, I left that album the first listen disappointed in '96, which is a hot take. I don't hear many people saying that, but
That's a fucking hot take, man. That's
yeah,
like
it's
top
true.
five, top five overall album, like of all time for me. Not even just top five hip hop. Like
I think Me Against the World's a better album.
Oh, Me Against the World's a better album. Well, I think you can even get enough people to agree to that, not just me. Me Against the World has aged so well, in my opinion. Every time I hear it, I'm like, this has aged so damn good. This is his best album.
it's a great album, but no way it doesn't beat All Eyes on Me.
All right, we will agree to disagree and talk about E-40. We are on four. Raven, you're up.
I'm gonna go to 95's in a major way, which maybe, like I said, tied with Mailman, my favorite. Dusted and Disgusted with Pac and Spice One and Mac Mall. It's just a hard beat with this classic posse track. I love that shit.
And I knew at least someone would have it on because I really wanted to get it on, but I kicked it off. We are on four yet, and we are on Diz.
All right, back to loyalty and betrayal. I'm going with In Shit, or more politically correct, Brother Shit, featuring Mac 10, The Click, Bosco on the beat. Like, man, it just kills. And the way that it starts, I think it's Be Legit who goes in first, and then Mac 10, or maybe vice versa. But both of them just go perfect with this track, man. And I'm like, I didn't know I needed Mac 10 on some E-40 shit. I love it. And this track, probably my favorite. Maybe, I don't know. I love that whole album. It's a really good album. But this is one of the standout tracks, one of my top E-40 tracks.
So we're already to number three. And I'm going, I can't believe this made it up to number three, but it did. The song is so awesome. From 2008's Ball Street Journal. It's a song called I Can Sell It. Features cousin Fick, who I hadn't heard of. You all hear like I can sell water to a whale or those type of things. It's a whole song with those one-liners, all the things he can sell. And they're both making a lot of sales and they both bring it. I just love it. I get so happy listening to this. All the great one-liners, the things he can sell is just so descriptive and so well done. And then there's a skit after the beat keeps going, but then you got an auctioneer who's selling shit and he'll say things like "sold to the man in the ski mask. Please don't shoot me, sir." And then can I get 10, 20? He's talking about the people in the crowd. It's just done so well. And I also wanted to say 40 has some really good album titles. Like Ball Street Journal and Ghetto Report Card, where you open up and it's like a report card. And I think this actually opens up like a newspaper. Just the creativity of these things is a nice touch. So I can sell it. I know it won't make anyone else's list, but E-40 is selling a gang load of shit. Number 3 for you, Brad.
Captain Save-A-Ho. People have already
Uh,
fucking awesome song. And so yeah, that was my number 3.
we all picked Captain Save-A-Ho, which I'm not super surprised with, but all right, we'll slide right into Raven, number 3.
So number three, I'm gonna go back to the Mailman, 93. I'm gonna go with Bring the Yellow Tape. I love that fucking beat. It's just I don't know, it's an uppity gangster type of hybrid track. I don't know, I really liked yeah, it's a great vibe for that beat, and he's got a great flow in that track. Bring the Yellow Tape.
I was worried that Mailman wouldn't get a lot of love from anyone but me, but shit, we all picked Captain Save-A-Ho, but other songs too. All right, number 3 for you, Diz.
All right, off of Charlie Hustle, Big Ballin' with My Homies. That is a Sir Mix-a-Lot remix, I guess you could call it. A big nod to it.
Hmm.
I think it's done so well. I love the beat. E-40 does Sir Mix-a-Lot right on here. And this is another Ant Banks beat. I was like, damn, I love it. I didn't know it was Ant Banks the first time I heard it. But looking at the credits, I saw that it was, and then I took a deeper listen. I'm like, there he is, So Big Ballin' with My Homies, such a dope track. It's a lot of fun.
One day we'll do an Ant Banks because he has enough of his solo material,
Yeah, you
and you could
got
even
it.
throw in the whole damn Yay albums, a couple of them.
You can do it just on his beats.
Right, right. He is so
That's
amazing, and not enough, hip hop heads know him, but he's not known like to the next, outside of people like a Dre or whatever. But Ant Banks is the shit. All right, number 2. I haven't heard anyone bring it up. Doesn't mean you will. But it was a single off my favorite album, 95's in a Major Way. Sprinkle Me, Sprinkle Me. Features his sister Sugar T, Dope Beat by Mike Bostic, who's done a lot of great beats too. It's just that laid back hook. Big time, 40 water, sprinkle me. Every time I hear this, I'm walking around doing that, sprinkle me. And it's another video that is all stuck in my head forever. And they both bring it. I love the third verse where they're going back and forth, almost Run DMC style. 1 bar, 2 bars, back and forth, brother and sister. I mean, what DNA this family has. They're all so talented. So Sprinkle Me, that was number 1 for a while and it got replaced by what is going to be my number 1, but I love that shit. So Sprinkle Me, one more time, Sprinkle Me. Sprinkling Fools with Game, Brad, what's your number 2?
I do have that 12-inch Sprinkle Me. It is a
Great
good
song.
song, but it didn't make my list. We were kind of talking about this album, and I know it's not his solo album, but ain't too hard to find off All Eyes on Me. That's the first time I ever heard E-40. I fucking love that song. I think I like, this album and this era of Pac the best because he just was so angry and full of vitriol, and that song was like kind of one of the more gangster songs on All Eyes on Me. And I was like, these guys that are rapping with him, they're tough, they're hard, and then E-40 comes in with his flow and it's cool. Now that was really the first. If he hadn't been on that album, I never would have really until later, till you get to my number 1 later. But I wouldn't have really known who he was.
I get, isn't that record also where you discovered Forte, Rapid Forte?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
another great artist. I'd love to do him one day too. He's got more albums than people think. Diz number 2.
Well, Dusted and Disgusted,
I've-
featuring Tupac, Mac Mall, and Spice One. Classic, man, just classic. Nothing much more to be said about it, but it's just a fucking dope posse track.
So we'll go right into one everyone else
Hey
talked
man, hey
about.
buddy, hey
Well, did
buddy.
I skip you?
Can I do number two, buddy?
Like every fifth show, I skip Raven on one number, and I don't know why. Just like you, I'm used to you in the background, maybe. So I skip
I
that.
guess.
Raven, what's your number two?
Number two, I went to 96's Hall of Game and I went with I Want to Thank You with Sugar T. Man, I love the vibe and the beat. I love the chorus. Thank you for sharing your game with me. It's just got a great vibe to it. And it's a very underrated album as well.
That was an honorable mention. And yeah, Hall of Game is just, I put Major Way just a notch above it, but Hall of Game is close. And those 2 years, 95, 96, he was just making such great music. So number one, no one brought it up. I wasn't expecting anyone to bring it up, but it's from that album, 96's Hall of Game, and it was a single, Things Will Never Change, because this is one of those songs that get me every time. This is one of those rare songs that almost puts shivers down my spine. The amazing beat, that piano by producer Mosley, and just on the reel talking about his hard life, such serious and real topics he covers. I mean, he gets me right away. Was I really such a bad child that I deserve to get hit with boards and whipped with extension cords? And it's just three verses of him just opening up his soul and heart about the shit he went through as a kid, and so damn good. You got the hook, a Bo Rock from Dove Shack. I don't think we've ever really brought up Dove Shack on the podcast.
Oh, we've definitely talked about the Shack. I know I
Shack
have
is
with the
dope.
twins because I've
Yeah.
talked about the
The
twins.
Shaq and the Twins, fucking awesome.
Love them.
Yep.
Yeah,
Same.
I always lock those together too because of Warren G
Yeah.
connection. But things will never change. It literally gives me goosebumps when I hear it. Life is hard. Such a great song. So that was number one. Brad, you were up at one.
So E-40 had a resurgence, I think, in 2014 with the single Choices. I fucking love that song. I think it's so clever. I know you guys are all about the old E-40 shit, but that song is so cool. The way he asked the question, yup, nope, yep. It's an awesome song. Even my wife likes that song. So I was like, that's gotta be my number one.
No, he's so creative. To have all these songs and albums and still make creative new something that no one else ever did. Raven, I didn't forget about you. What's your number one?
My number one, I went to In a Major Way, and I went with Sprinkle Me Man with Sugar T. Shit, that was such a dope video when that came out, such a dope song. I love Sugar T. I loved her solo shit as well. I've always thought that the whole clique was just fucking dope. Be Legit's fucking dope. But yeah, Sprinkle Me is it's a fucking great vibe. It's been my jam for like 30 years now. So
Because sugar, sugar, that's my sister. Sprinkle me.
Sprinkle Me Man.
This is Sprinkle Me your number one.
No, my number one is Mr. Flamboyant.
Oh,
Hi.
Mm.
wow.
It's such a dope ass old school track, man. I listen to it. They're still young, they're hungry, but the beat, man, just takes me back to that early 90s type shit. I love that. I mean, that's how I was introduced to rap, man. That type of sound. That's my era. I love that. Mr. Flamboyant, top track. Had to put it at number one.
Well, we flew right through E-40. Honorable mentions, but E-40, so the listeners know the task at hand. I looked up the numbers. He has 27 solo full-length albums, 5 EPs, 7 group albums with the Click, and he did those group albums with Too Short and Mount Westmore, 6 compilation albums, and as Raven said, a lot of those solo albums are double discs, so it's probably more like 35 solo albums. It's mind-blowing the material he put out. And this is the first artist I can honestly say I did not listen to every single album. There's others where I quick went through an album, but the task was to maybe if I didn't have a job or anything else going on in my life, I could have got through them all, but I didn't. But honorable mentions, I tried to not make it a list of, 40 songs, but from Federal, I just wanted to give love to his first album ever, and it sounds like it would be your first album. It's, a little rough, but there's a song called Hide and Seek that I liked. From Mailman, Never Broke, the first song on that record. In a Major Way, Da Bumble and Spittin'. From Hall of Game, Record Haters, the Rasheed Wallace diss track. It starts off the album, and I think he disses AZ and someone else. I thought he goes hard on that. And my number 11 off of Hall of Game is a song called The Story. Samples Beastie Boys in the hook. From Element of Surprise, it's On Sight. From Loyalty and Betrayal, You Blind. From Grit and Grind, Why They Don't Fuck With Us. And Rep Yo City, which is all Southern artists except for him, doing this like posse track. And it doesn't seem like a song I should like. I think like T.I. and it's all Southern rappers, but I like it. Breaking news, there's a song called Act the Ass. And from Welcome to the Soil Part 1, because I think there's four of them, song called What's My Name. Once you get into the Welcome to the Soil and all those, there's just so much. Same thing with those Too Short albums. I think like those came out all in the same time frame within a year or two, but I'm sure I'm missing something because there was so much. Anything we didn't mention that was on your guys' honorable mentions?
I got Mr. Arm & Hammer off of that the D-Boy Diary, which I don't think anybody had any tracks on there. It's kind of way new, but it's a pretty decent record. I bumped it regularly for a while, but that Arm & Hammer is pretty cool. I know it's a newer sound, kind of sounds like the Mechanics or something, because they went through that era. But that was my honorable mention.
Outsmart the Popo from Federal was the only one that didn't get named from me.
If Hide and Seek wouldn't have got the Federal nod, I from the Popo would. All right, I'll let y'all go. Have a good night. Great to have y'all on. See ya.
Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed. Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide.